right there. Most of the times we wrap flowers. Ask yourself, will you eat flowers? No, most of the time you won't do that. So look at this gift suggestion. I have a watermelon here. I have oranges here. This is the ultimate show of love, okay? Gift somebody some food and you'll have a good time. Welcome to the Farm Kenya show. My name is Noah Kipkemboy and I'm not very good at packing things, but I have managed to. And today we're talking about commercial kitchen, what exactly? Farming. I know you're thinking kitchen gardening. That is small scale. That is what you do at the back of your house. You're growing your few sukuma wiki. In the evening you go, pluck it and eat it. But there are people who are producing kitchen produce, vegetables, fruits at scale. They're doing it commercially. And that is our discussion today. And this watermelon is too heavy. Let me put it back first of all before I continue the conversation. Okay, thank you very much. That's my workout for the day, by the way. In studio, we have Winnie Akinyi, popularly known as Zaina, who is the CEO of Albiza Culture Company Limited. And at the far end, we have the gentleman who wears many caps, yeah? But today he has one. He's a farmer. And his name is Peter Munyaka. Lady, gentlemen, welcome to Farm Kenya show. Good to see you guys. In fact, by your dressing the green already just shows, you know, you are very pro-green products. But maybe for starters, it's good to lay out definitions because we tend to confuse wordings, you know. Winnie,
yes.
Most of the times when we see, you know, commercial, then we see kitchen, most of the times we finish with kitchen gardening, okay? Because we think, it's a fancy word, you're able to grow your own food. But today we are discussing commercial kitchen farming. Distinct these two for us.
So with the commercial kitchen farming, it means doing farm produce for kitchen at large, where you're able to supply a variety of customers, where you can do large supply in institutions, companies, hospitals, and even home deliveries. So to differentiate these gardening and farming, gardening we are not doing actually for personal consumption, sorry. Yeah, so when it comes to kitchen commercial, we do at large to provide, or rather to supply kitchen planted vegetables, fruits that are actually consumed on a daily purposes.
Definitely. You know, we're having that discussion with Peter earlier on, Peter, and you're like, no, you're not doing us justice if you call us commercial kitchen gardeners, because it's difference of scale. And you are a farmer. Is there anything to add to this particular definition when you talk about commercial kitchen farming?
I think the emphasis needs to go to the level of production, because when you talk about the kitchen garden, it's more like just small portion for production. But when you talk about commercial kitchen farming, it means that you can supply large institutions, be it schools, be it hospitals, be it the hoteliering industry. And basically that is what we do, production for the big consumers.
Okay,
yes,
definitely. So what products, because one of my friends who loves sugarcane is thinking, wow, I can start doing sugarcane, you know? But we're discussing about markets which we shall come later on. Predominantly, when we talk about commercial kitchen farming, what is the array of products in Kenya, and does it change from region to the other?
Well, in Kenya, for the kitchen produce, vegetables, we consume much vegetables, mostly, if not every day. In a meal or in a diet, you must find something that relates either to the fruits, legumes, vegetables, cereals, in that part. So every time you have a variety of requests for fresh vegetable. Now, this is when it comes to the farming part, that you get it directly from the farm.
Okay.
Yes, within a short period of value addition to the consumer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So most of the time with food, it's a request all over.
Ah.
Yes.
When you're in the food business, I was saying that you never sleep hungry, but Peter differed, by the way. He said, nah,
Yeah, true.
you can't sleep hungry with your food if you haven't planned yourself well. And that is in terms of ensuring that you have market.
Yes.
But from the production level, when we're talking about the products that we grow in Kenya, because there is seasonality, I don't know how many people are using irrigation as a tool, especially small-scale farmers. It's still a challenge, okay, to finance some of this infrastructure. So we depend on seasons. Oh, there is season for this, there's season for that. Talk to me about this commercial kitchen farming in Kenya, the seasons and also the products that are widely explored by the farmers.
Noah, back to the statement I had given you, that majority of farmers will go into the business of farming before they know the market. And there are some people who say, just farm, people must eat. And I need to make that clarification. The easiest way to depression as a farmer is when you say, let me just do the farming, people must eat. What if those people decide not to eat your produce? So that is where the whole thing comes from. So once you have done the production, you must know how does it get to the consumer. Is it through Zaina? Is it through the open air market? Is it through... sorry, I diverted a little bit. I needed to make that clarification to our audience.
Definitely.
Coming to the production part, you are talking about seasonality, but I normally tell people, if you want to make money from farming, don't do it when the rest of the people are doing it.
Okay.
The best way is to use irrigation. With irrigation, you are assured that when there is a glut for, let's say, the cabbage, you find that a cabbage, there was some news some time back, we were told that a cabbage like this one used to cost about 5 bob. But that is when there was over surplus.
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to get money, this is what I want to tell the audience. If you want to get money from farming, do it when the rest are not doing it. And the best way is to use irrigation.
Okay.
And without water, I don't think there is anything that you are going to get out of farming if you rely on rain-fed agriculture.
Okay.
Yes.
So utilize the tools that are there to beat seasons, to produce consistently. And you say that consumers, if I want spinach, I won't start asking, okay, is it the season for spinach? At the end of the day, I just want my spinach at the end of the day. Yeah. So in regards to especially being a link between of taking from the farmers,
yes,
and linking them to the consumers, direct consumers.
Yes.
Talk to me about, is it a challenge? Is it a concern, this aspect of seasonality and consistent supply, where sometimes a client wants this at this particular amount and it's a challenge to get?
Yes. I would say sometimes with seasons, that's the main challenge, especially with vegetables. We have, most of them are easily, you can easily plant them depending with what type of plantation you want to do, if it's irrigation, if it's depending on the normal rains. So for example, you have a demand of locally known as saga. Yes. Saga.
So nice.
Majority loves this kind of vegetable. But at the same time, you're not able to find it in the markets, given it's hard to grow. It takes also time. So with the reliability of farmers who use this special kind of irrigation farming, whatever means they use to grow the vegetables, you can find this with not everyone. So it is at that time that now the demand is high, but now the production is quite minimal.
Okay.
Yes.
So always produce counter seasons.
Yes.
Yes.
When there is expectation of low saga supply, you make sure by that time you are having...
You're organized and you know very well at this time, this product will not miss.
What makes, apart from irrigation,
yes,
not being able to put up the infrastructure, is there a barrier that is stopping farmers being able to read these market trends and sort of produce when there is high demand and take advantage of that wave?
Well, sometimes the challenge is, as we've said, it's seasonal. There's a time you find that you consume so much of a particular, let's say, I love cabbage most of the time. Then you go to the market, you buy, and then the person you buy it from will be like, I know this client of mine loves cabbage, so I have to bring cabbage. Then the next time I come, I want something different from cabbage. I go for something else. So it's in that what the clients consume, they may change.
Okay.
Yes, the consumption may change. It varies with time. Too much of something is poisonous. I would just say, today I don't want to eat this and I have to do this.
Okay.
So you find you are readily having your cabbage, knowing very well this is what goes most of the time. Then something changes in the market, yes.
Makes sense. I mean, you've talked about the aspect of, the easiest way to depression, as a farmer, is not being able to sell your products.
Yes. And
that is normally a headache. I mean, we have different ways of marketing, but sometimes you start selling at a throwaway price, and it's not pretty to look when farmers are making losses. So apart from first of all, planting when that particular product is not flooding the market. Like right now, I understand, mangoes are everywhere, okay? Yeah. But in a few months, we won't have mangoes.
Yes.
And somebody whose mangoes are now coming, to maturity, they make a killing from it. Apart from that, what do you think is stopping farmers, especially who are in this kind of farming, not to take advantage of those cycles?
I would say the first and the major is the fact that finances are never enough. When we talk about irrigation, especially to be specific, drip irrigation, it's a bit costly. Majority of the small-scale farmers won't be able to afford drip irrigation. So basically, what they do, they just rely on rain-fed agriculture, and once the rain is gone, we are back to the same old story that there was too much cabbage, there was too much of this, but once the rains are gone, the produce also is gone with the same. Another thing I would say is that some of the interventions that would counter that are again very expensive, because you could be having a cold storage that when the cabbages are in plenty, you are able to store until the season when there are few. But unfortunately, the storage facilities are quite expensive to build, truth be told. And maybe the ones which are being offered by the government sometimes, they are not very, very reliable, in the sense that you might find that some of the infrastructures are not working.
Okay, so definitely. So that unreliability and lack of investment becomes a little bit of a challenge. And Winnie, you're in this business. I'd imagine, especially private sector players, of which all the way to the farmers, there is a whole value chain that we keep talking time and again, Government comes and says, we've given fertilizer, and with fertilizer, we are boosting production. But there's still gaps, cold chain facilities, all this. Even sometimes that market access, like farmers need help.
Yes.
In terms of you running your business, is it a thought process of looking at these gaps in the value chain and sort of trying to fill them? If at all farmers are lacking, let's talk cold chain facilities, for example, that's a popular one.
Yes.
Yeah, is that a gap as a player you can think of and sort of intervene? Are we seeing that proactiveness from the private sector and businesses as yours to try and solve our agricultural value chain mishaps?
Well, Noah, what happens in agribusiness, most of the time we incorporate and suggest, or rather provide training facilities, especially on how we can invent as farmers, those who are not able even to have the purchase capacity to buy even fertilizers, storage. So there's a way we do basic training. We provide those forums, and locally find exercises on how to train or provide this kind of knowledge to farmers who are not in a position to sustain themselves in terms of inputs. So you also find the currently, let's just be honest, farming is expensive.
Okay.
Whether you're going to do it through large scale or small scale. Dependability on government is not something you can count as an individual farmer, whether you're going to get your fertilizer or not. Especially for kitchen gardening, kitchen farming, these are things we invent. There's a way you can even form your own fertilizer. There's a way to make to store your produce. Like we can even go the traditional ways, how to store the cereals, the dry, you get. So in the process of it, we train, we provide that little basic knowledge to such farmers.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely. Peter, you're a farmer on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know whether it's quite sad. I always point back to that time where farmers were given fake fertilizer. And it's a sad place to be, especially being a country that is a net importer of food. It's really a sad place to be. But talk to me about some of these interventions, because Winnie has rightly pointed out, the cost of production of our farm produce is pretty high. How, from your experience, how is that case? What are these pinpoints within the production level that is raising our cost of production?
One, I would say lack of information, because especially back at the village, you are going to find that a majority of farmers will not understand some of these interventions that we are talking about. We are talking about irrigation, and you'll find someone who has never seen a drip irrigation working. So I think the major, if I can put it in a broad way, lack of information.
There is an element of the cost of production, and knowledge becomes very critical.
Yes.
And even as I come to you, Winnie, just briefly, that element of knowledge.
Yes.
Because I don't know, for our farmers who are supplying you, quality of products become very, very
Priority.
Important and critical.
Yes.
Sometimes you find the farmer has done quite a sizable amount, but you look at the quality is totally down. I mean, how do you handle that in a way that is not so disappointing, but as well, it is disappointing?
Yes. So most of the time, you get, if the quality, depending with how damaged is the quality. For example, I do a request, I place my order, I talk to my farmers, I need like 50 sacks of cabbage, or rather, I need capsicum, 2 sacks. So if I notice in all these requests, the majority are damaged, there must be a problem. First, I would contact the farmer, like meeting the person like I usually do for collection. So we check on what's good, what's bad, right? So when we notice that a lot is spoiled, so I have a discussion and ask what could be the problem. What are the challenges? Why did this happen like this? Is it directly from the farm? Is it from the time you harvested? Is it, what is the challenge? So most of the time you find they also say the damage depending with the weather. During the productivity, the time for planting, maybe in that season the cabbages are not sprouting the way this is. You know what I mean now, when they're small and they don't look very fresh.
Yes.
During the production, probably the farmer did not have enough fertilizer. Production time, some farmers, they also do not have enough knowledge. Someone will get into the industry thinking, oh, if I plant cabbages, I'm going to reap big in it. So they just walk to the stores, they buy the seeds, they do the planting without knowledge and skills. So you find the production is not becoming of quality. So in this category, the farmer will identify. If it's so genuine, now we have to, I can also not accept something that is going to be returned by my client.
Okay.
At this point, I would just pick the ones that are clean, nice, that I can also equally sell, and then find a solution on how the other ones can equally be distributed.
Okay.
for the ones that can be consumed.
All right.
Yes.
And Peter, you see the similarity there, lack of knowledge. I know you are a point of production level. Knowledge seems to be very critical. I mean, from her perspective, especially as an off-taker, I know it comes slightly later because now you're looking at the product is not quality and you're asking what the problem is, so you're walking back. But for you as a farmer, and also you do aggregation, like you have this chain of farmers, community farmers that you aggregate from them. What do you think, if at all today, I tell you that you're becoming the Agriculture Cabinet Secretary, the intervention to farmers who are doing commercial kitchen farming, what will be your top 2 interventions?
The first thing, although we said that resources are never enough, we need to look at the production cycle and the way the fresh produce are consumed. If you could be having a way, we can have the cold storage properly managed by people who know exactly why the cold storage are there. That is one intervention which would be very critical. Another thing is on information. There is an information gap between the people who are doing the production and the people who are consuming. You might find that there are some people who will tell you a red cabbage weighing 500 grams is supposed to be given to cows. But we tell them no. There are some people, there is a market segment that consumes that. So if that information is missing, you find that people are just throwing good quality produce, thinking that this cannot be eaten. So the intervention would be on knowledge. Let there be proper. I've seen these ATC, agricultural training centers. Truth be told, and I've visited several of them. Not much is happening. If anything, the private sectors are playing a much bigger role in enhancing that the agricultural sector is well and standing than the government. I would challenge the government and the people who are managing the ATCs. Let there be a properly managed agricultural training. It's supposed to be a training. Let the people know what they don't.
Yes. That's very critical. And Winnie?
Yes.
Today I tell you, hey, I hereby send you to Parliament to be vetted to become the Agriculture CS. And you're looking at it from somebody who's been in who is in the agricultural value chain. And we need interventions. From him, we need cold storage and knowledge gap. And I think that used to be covered by extension officers back in the day. These days, the system was disrupted big time. I know even is agriculture now a devolved issue?
It's it
is devolved function with our counties, and that proactivity is not there. But from a business perspective now, in terms of people are playing in the value chain, do you think there are interventions from even a policy level, from you running your business, that can be made to make sure that agriculture business is thriving in the country than it is right now?
Yes. First of all, I would like to appreciate the ministry for the much they've done. Let me say the much. Because in this capacity, you realize farmers, just as the name sounds, when someone says, I am a farmer, basically this has a lot to do with capital. For example, I would be open with you. I'm in the industry, and whenever I source poultry products, I'm left worried how I left before. How I leave home is not the way I go back, because everything is excessively expensive. But the cry on the ground is the products are very expensive, right from animal feeds, purchase of any item, any input that is put into the agriculture, it's quite currently very expensive. So if the government can work on some subsidy, or rather if in any capacity those small-scale farmers can be provided with a certain portion, it can be organized so that people can have that capital for startups.
Yes.
Yes, it can really create a big impact.
Definitely.
Yes.
Capital is a huge
Yes.
one. Definitely. I know right now there is one of the products here. These are very nice bananas, yeah? And I know we are thinking about Valentine's. If somebody doesn't call you sweetie, sweetie banana, then I don't know, yeah? But this is a product of commercial kitchen farming. And remember that agriculture is the biggest employer in our economy and still undertapped, all right? So if we streamline our agriculture sector, it puts money in our pockets. And that's why we're having this discussion in studio at this particular moment. We want to take a sweet break, and we'll come back with more. Stay tuned and keep it KTN. Isn't it?
I will stay until I get married or well established.
Wenye kuku is too much. Alijifichaje mpaka madam akumwona? Mbona wakupiga kelele kwa hii nyumba nifurahie kidogo tu? What happened?
Coco is a very stubborn. Jimmy amekuzalia mtoto, mimi nimekuzalia gunia.
Dental Tips, brought to you by Sensodyne. The 2-minute rule. Brush smarter, not faster. Dentists recommend brushing for 2 minutes twice a day. Pair that with Sensodyne Toothpaste Advanced Daily Care.
Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Sometimes you look at the shape of a product like this, you're like, yeah, is equal 10 bob. You know, skooma comes in all quantities.
Yes.
In terms of pricing in the market, are we seeing even as more consumption, there is a level of, because I think when there is more supply, prices tend to come and become a little bit more stable.
In the shelves, it's not highly priced because just give me one.
Okay, there you go.
When you have this, as per the look, you may think it's something very small. But once you are ready to prepare, you cut the stems and it comes out as more as it is. This can barely cost you less than 100 Kenya shillings, but it can serve as many as 3. Yes, depending on how you prepare it with what other that comes with it.
So you get value for money.
Yes.
That's quite interesting. Peter,
Yes.
so you say, since they're in the same family, majority of these products, so this one, cauliflower,
Spinach.
spinach.
Spinach, no?
This one is spinach. It's produced the same way, though temperature matters. That is one of the defining elements. In terms of farmers preferring one over the other, leaving out the environmental factor, for example, farmers in Jambini, how do you make a decision, I'm going to produce broccoli and not spinach?
Because we are not producing for our own consumption. Our production is demand driven. If I know Zaina and her Albiza Culture Company are requesting broccoli, that is what I will go for.
Okay.
If they are requesting, I'll check at their consumption and see. In the month of February, they were asking more of cauliflower and broccoli than skooma. I will go for what they are asking. And remember what we said, if you are not producing for the market, you better not produce and wait for the market.
Okay.
Otherwise, the production needs to be guided by the consumption.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very important. Now, these ones, I don't know what they remind me of. I wanted to join the band when I was in high school, but I did a club test. I did a clap test and I failed. I didn't have rhythm then, but now I do. But this particular product, Winnie,
Yes,
what's this?
that's beetroot.
Beetroot, the red one.
Yes.
Uh-huh. People are eating, because I go, they make for me that bowl of
Juice.
fruits, even
Salad.
in juice. Yeah.
Yes.
Then this one is added, but they add very little. I asked them, why are you putting a little bit? It's like, it seems to be more pricey. How's the demand for beetroot these days?
I would relatively say the demand is equally, it's competing, because these are things that you consume. You can consume this as raw as it is once you just prepare.
Yes.
You can blend. There are various ways you can use the beetroot. As you see, it's small just by appearance.
Yes.
These can make a very good quantity of juice.
Okay.
Yes. And it's not that it's affordable. It's affordable. The demand depends now with the situation. Hospitals, you'll see that the order is more intense when it comes to, I think, because of the health they work with. Yes. And now with different organizations, different companies, they'll request. Yes.
All right. That makes a lot of sense. Before I transition, do you have a special place for beetroot in your heart?
Definitely, because a majority of the times you're going to see people with sicknesses like anemia. The prescription has, you must get beetroot in their prescription, that take beetroot if you want to add blood into your system. And another thing, you will see beetroot is consumed by people who are normally in exercises, and the juices that, like she has said. And by the way, it's good to mark the consumption trends. If somebody is keen, they will realize that in January and September, when the sun is very hot, people tend to take a lot of juice, and that is when the price of beetroot hikes. You see? So if you are not able to observe the market trends, and know, it's good to know if that is when the price is high. When are you supposed to plant that beetroot? You look at the period it takes.
Yes.
Then go back with those few days, so that now it will be ready at the time when the prices are high. That is the best way to get money from beetroot.
All right.
Yeah.
Now there are some people, they're saying, okay, one of my 2025 goals was to start working out.
Yeah.
But you guys can just join me here. But I've decided I'll start by taking beetroot before I start going to the gym. Is that a good strategy?
To boost your health. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Then you start lifting cabbages before you start going to the gym. Cabbages are very popular.
Yeah.
In January especially, after December.
When last did you eat cabbage?
Very recently, I think on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah, on Saturday I ate cabbage. But it seems to be one of those products, because I look at the inflation numbers, and cabbage prices are always a huge factor because food is a huge contributor.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the cabbage market in Kenya and why a farmer should consider doing cabbages.
Consuming cabbage in Kenya has grown gradually, and we are going to remove this notion of cabbage can only be or mostly used in January.
Yes.
I do cabbage mostly in my meals, twice a week. I can consume it in the way I prepare it. It all depends. I can do salads, I can make it just nicely, I can steam it. Yes. So in the current market, cabbage is highly recommended because also it's affordable. It's affordable and it's easier to make, to prepare. It doesn't take a lot of time, and also you don't need much to prepare cabbage.
Okay.
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
cabbage production, how do farmers do this right?
One thing that Noah, you need to get is that the cost of production for cabbage, and it's good to be specific to the white cabbage, because there are several other types of cabbage. The cost of production it's very low.
Okay.
So I would think
Yes.
Farmers, majority of farmers who are venturing into agriculture for the first time, they will go for cabbage because the cost of production is quite low.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely. This is, you call it?
That is the red cabbage. The color is purple,
Yes.
but don't call it purple cabbage. It's the red cabbage.
It's the red cabbage.
Yes, it's called
so you
the
just
red
ignore the color.
Don't ignore. There is a reason.
There's a reason.
You cannot go to inside the market looking for red color, but you will find the purple one.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
definitely. And this one, is it a variation that, what's special about this and even consumption comparing it to the white cabbage that we're used to?
So basically this one can be consumed. You can cook it, you can steam and all, but most people prefer this also for salads.
Okay.
Yes.
Ah.
It has some sweet taste in it.
Ah.
Yes.
I've
and
seen-
the color. Yeah.
And
uh-huh.
no, it's good to note this.
Yes.
Sorry to talk about my family. In my family, I have a nutritionist.
Okay.
And one thing she's always telling me, there is a nutritional aspect specific to colors.
Yeah.
So when you say a red cabbage, different from a white cabbage, there is a specific nutritional value that will be found in the red cabbage that will not be found in the white cabbage. The same thing, you are going to see it when we come to spinach.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
That's very, very important. I look forward. Let's look at some of these products, because now we're going to be told, there is yellow spinach and there is red spinach.
spinach.
Yes.
Is that the case?
Yes, it's the case.
Hey, okay.
And then no.
So these are three variations.
Yes.
First of all, do a lot of Kenyans ask for this specifically? Like you get orders, I want the red one, the yellow one, or the green one, and how does that vary in terms of the demand?
The demand of the white stem spinach is quite high. Rarely or occasionally do I get orders for the colored ones.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends now with different caliber of consumers. We have different tribes, or rather communities, that are so used to the other colored spinach.
Okay.
But yes, most of the time I get requests for the white stem spinach.
Okay.
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
These other colors, colors are very sensitive in our country.
Yeah.
Sometimes people allude to political parties. Hey, red, oh, yellow. Yeah, but talk to me about, are farmers also venturing into this? Is it the same thing, just different colors, or it brings a different value to it?
One thing, Noah, you've heard from her that majority of the orders will go for the green white cabbage, spinach. If you want to make it in farming, be a little bit unique in your own way. You are going to have your own unique problems, but make sure you are unique in your own way. One way to be unique, when the rest are producing this green spinach, be producing the yellow one. You may find that the niche in the market is very small for the colored spinach, but the prices are very high. Guess what, Noah? What do you think is the cost, is the price for a kilo of the red and the yellow? Guess.
A kilo? A kilo can be 300 bob.
You are right. Guess what's
That's discernment, man.
So the price of these, the farm gate price right now is around 50 bob.
Okay.
This one.
Yeah.
The farm gate price for this is from 200 to 300 per kilo. So decide.
Serious?
Are you going to do what the rest are doing, or are you going to be unique in your own way?
So there is colorism in vegetable farming.
Yes.
Yeah, the ones with color, they fetch better prices. Okay. Now let's come here. I know we had touched on this. This is?
That is a cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Yes.
Hey. You have to open it up.
Yeah, it's white.
Yeah. Very
white.
white, very nicely. Who's eating this, Winnie?
I do, you do.
But in terms of demand for
Yes.
cauliflower, how has it been since you've been in the business?
Since you can prepare cauliflower, it's prepared along other vegetables.
Okay.
You can mix your cauliflower with the broccoli, or just make it the way it is, just as any other vegetable. It's easy to prepare and you consume. So we have a variety of consumers.
Okay.
Yes.
This is?
This is
Rosemary.
rosemary. Yes.
That's a herb.
It's a herb.
Demands for
Spice.
herb, actually a lot of people are going herbal way, Peter.
Yes, and okay, I'm here to talk about production.
Yes.
She is here to talk about the consumption.
Definitely.
And like I've told you, you need to be unique in a way when you are doing the production if you want to get to fetch some good prices in the market. One way is to go the herb way.
Okay.
And some of these herbs are very easy to do the production.
Yes.
Because they have chemicals which act like pesticides, so you don't need pesticide for you to grow these. So you can say you are going to lower the cost of production when you are doing some of these crops. Yes.
You know, I attended a Catholic primary school. I don't know whether these are the ones they are using to...
No,
Possibly.
I don't know this one.
No.
But in terms of herbs, there's also a growing demand and increased demand of herbs.
Yes.
How's that? Because herbs not only add flavor to our foods, but also the medicinal value to it. Talk to me about demand for such in the market.
So for like rosemary, it's processed in various ways. This is just the original form of it.
Yes.
It can be dried, processed, and it becomes a powder. Some people use it the way it is, and most of the people prefer the fresh stem rosemary. I think the aroma, the smell.
Yeah, it's really strong.
You can feel it, right? It's stronger when it is in its actual form. Yes, and most of the people we have, generally from old people, youths, people take rosemary in different ways. You use it we can make tea with it. We can use, you can bake using these. You can do your frying. It's all rounded.
Definitely.
Yeah, and compared to the processed or the packed spices, most of the people go for natural spice or herbs.
Okay.
Yes, where they would prefer using this as it is.
What is the shelf life of this one as it is?
Good thing with rosemary now, even if it continues staying in the shelf, it just turns. It becomes brown, meaning drying, which can still be used over time.
Yes.
Yes. So you can store this depending with if it's an open place or you just want to keep it like this. But as much as if you don't let it stay longer, it will bring more value when it is still fresh as well.
More value.
Yeah.
How about that one?
This is a celery, and majority of people are not familiar with some of these crops and plants. This is used in juices.
Juices?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like we were talking about beetroot. This is another thing that that is used in making those smoothies and the rest. So, and there are some people who cook. So, and it has its own medicinal value.
Okay.
One thing now you need to know, if we are going to talk about the medicinal value of all these crops that we are having here, some people might think these are people of miti ni dawa.
That's true.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Apart from even making juices with them, you can blend it alongside your dania and all to make just a paste. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, when you eat pizza and you feel like there's some mint or taste, like you can mix celery. Yes, in that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Let me. As we close, I want us to go to at the back. There is this particular stand. Of course, bananas. They make me the happiest. You can come. You can just come here. Thank you very much. We have this. This used to be very popular when I was a young child. What's that?
This is we call it gooseberry. Specifically, it's called the Cape gooseberry, not the ones that you used to take in the wild. So these are a different variety. You can see the color.
Yes.
It's golden yellow.
Okay.
And when you go to some supermarkets, you are going to find these. And they are not that cheap.
Okay.
A pounded like this one weighing 250 grams is going for 150 bob.
Okay.
So you can see a kilo is around 600. It gets hot. In the production of this, you don't need any chemical. You only need manure. You are going to cut the cost of production. The cost of production for this is very low. And that's why I'm very passionate about gooseberry.
Gooseberry.
Yes.
It's close to your heart.
Yes.
Our customers ordering gooseberry.
Not many people do order this. I think it's also because you don't find it in small grocery stores, maybe at the supermarkets. And just as you've had the price, it does not favor the medium or low earners.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yes.
Of course, we have carrots.
Yeah.
If I would have eaten enough of these when I was young, I wouldn't be wearing specs right now.
Really?
Better carotene.
But carrot production in Nairobi, there's always that talk of kuna hizi za sewage na kuna hizi proper. In terms of carrot production, how are you supposed to do it? Does location matter briefly?
Location matters, and one thing we check is land preparation. Carrot can do well anywhere as long as you do the correct land preparation, because you see this is a crop that the store, we call them the stores.
Yes.
They are on the ground. So if your soils are not very soft, the way it's going to penetrate warrant you, because you are going to have very short and pegged carrots.
Okay.
Yes,
definitely. Our time is running up. You know, we said if we go product by product, we won't finish. I know bananas. People love bananas. But as we close up, Winnie.
Yes.
For young people, we are having an issue with unemployment in this country. There are no jobs for young people. People go to school and they're wondering where I can plug in. I think the agriculture value chain offers such an opportunity. Talk to the young people in this country. Where do opportunities, what can they tap into as youth of this and take advantage of our agricultural value chain to make something out of their lives?
Okay. Yeah, it's now what I would say is first, as youths, we should not undermine or try to picture something as this is too small or this is dirty work. Actually, dirty hands equals to clean money.
Exactly.
Yes. So there are various opportunities in this chain. Right now, I have a capacity of 7 employees, right from logistics to marketing, delivery, sourcing, quality control, and all. As youths, you know, sometimes you walk in town. Let me talk about the Mudurwa part. You see many fruits, tomatoes, they're stepped on, and as a farmer, I'm like, this is money. Sometimes going to the farm will make you understand and get an opportunity. A farmer has the produce. They don't know who is the market, who can be sold to, who is the consumer. So when you are there, you are able to understand and relate that this banana that you're storing here for birds to eat can be sold. What do I need to do? I need to remove it from there, find value addition, and reach out to them, the consumers and the markets. This is something that does not need a million of coins. It's just how proactive you are and how willing and interested you are in. You don't have to do it in the capital. You can do it right from your local space. What happens is how you package yourself and how you do the selling. That is what matters.
Definitely.
Yes.
Take advantage of opportunities therein. There's always a gap that you can be the linkage and make money from it. Very important, Winnie. Peter, those of us who want to come to farming, especially at the production level, how do we start it right? Generally, as a farmer, especially when you talk about kitchen farming.
One thing we need to emphasize, Noah, is farming And to be specific, when we are talking farming, we are talking about agri-farming. It's an agri-business. So whenever you are in business, make sure you have enough capital. It may not be enough to cater for the whole process, but make sure you're having some money.
Okay.
Because there are some people who think this is just farming. There is cost for the inputs. There's cost for labor.
Okay.
There's cost for your marketing. So if you are not doing it right in the production and in the marketing, you won't make it as a farmer.
Okay.
So the best, make sure at least there is something, you have some money.
Okay.
It's an agribusiness. It's
right.
not just farming.
Definitely.
Yes.
Thank you very much. You guys were such a sport to talk to. So, Peter, thank you very much. You've done well. Zainab,
Thank you.
thank you very much. So you can just unlock the banana as you are taught. Unlock it. Thank you very much for being part of the Farm Kenya show. So we've had Winnie Akinyi, who's the CEO of Albiza Culture Company Limited. And also Peter Munyaka, who's a farmer. And Winnie has already taken a bite.
Yes. You want us
But
to
I wanted
cheers.
to propose a cheer. I propose a cheer to more
Commercial kitchen
commercial kitchen farming.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
All right, definitely. My name is Noakip Kimboy, and as you can see, where there is food, there is a way to have fun. Enjoy the rest of the viewing, and we are out for now. This is Farm Kenya. Bye-bye for now.
Mlango wa kulima kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kukulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni